you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy VD. And Valentine's Day. It's Friday, so you know what that means. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's been in more bars than Kamala Harris. Entrepreneur and host of Bar Rescue, John Tapper. This chef serves up a generous helping of hotness. Chef and restaurant owner Andrew Gruel. Her baby is gonna go through puberty before it's even born. New York Times best-selling author and Fox News contributor Kat Timm. And grandmas want him for Valentine's Day. New York Times best-selling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion Tyrus. You gotta stand up at some point, because they block it. All right, before we get to some news stories, let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
I'm gonna do it at home or somewhere. It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week, and as always, it's my first time reading them. So if they suck, we'll send Joe Mackey to Rashida Tlaib's kissing booth. So, today's Valentine's Day, which means in New York City that after every stabbing, you receive a Russell Stover sampler. According to a new poll, Joe Biden is the least popular living president. His supporters dispute that, saying he's dead. Meanwhile, a former Democrat donor claims Joe Biden was put on drugs before campaign events. Well, that explains the erection. Off the coast of Chile, a kayaker was caught on camera being swallowed by a humpback whale, prompting Joey Behar to say, "I was nowhere near Chile." Chile. There's a rumor that Kanye West and Bianca Censori are headed for divorce. Kanye better not blame this on the Jews, or it's going to be hard to find a good lawyer. I don't know. I don't get it. It was funny. The LAPD brass are providing instructions for illegal immigrants on how to evade ICE. Advice includes blending in by not watching soccer. That's where you can find illegals. Just follow the shouting. The University of Michigan is apparently changing the names of its DEI offices to evade Trump's executive order. That reminds me of when Osama bin Laden asked his friends to start calling him Jeff. As part of her bucket list, a 104-year-old woman was allowed to spend some time in jail. I know. The high point was when she made some 90-year-old her bitch. It's funny. According to Anna Polina Luna, who leads the task force on the declassification of the JFK assassination records, there were 2 shooters involved in JFK's killing. Typical, I know. Men kept that secret for 62 years. A woman kept it for 6.2 minutes. Chicks. Am I right, huh? Don't tell them secrets. Donald Trump met with the Prime Minister of India and pressed him to lower their tariffs toward the U.S. Trump even offered to throw in Anna Navarro, since in India, cows are sacred. Trump said that Canada is a very serious contender to be our 51st state. All they have to do is learn how to pronounce about. Ilhan Omar might run against Tim Walz in the Minnesota Senate race. Poor Minnesotans. That's like having to choose between cancer and AIDS. Because they're both bad. Elon Musk. Kat, you just got that?
No,
Kat, can you stand up?
I disagree. What?
Can you stand up?
You want me to? Okay, sure.
So, go to a shot of Kat. Would you stand up?
I'm alarmed by the way that I look. Okay.
Come on. Okay, take a wide shot.
Thank you. Every shot with me in is a wide shot.
I don't think people understand how pregnant she really
at
is.
At home, you can't really tell from this angle. And then when I was doing live, people see me out and they're like, whoa.
All right, back to the jokes. So Elon Musk's 4-year-old was mocked by The View over his name, prompting Musk's child to exclaim, "Daddy, I didn't know hippos could talk." NASA says an asteroid's odds to hit the Earth by the year 2032 are up by 2.3%. Meanwhile, the odds of Jerry Nadler hitting the toilet bowl are 0. We're awful. Elon Musk revealed that paperwork for retiring federal employees is processed entirely by hand in an underground mine. Here's a look at some of the workers. Someone in Pennsylvania stole 100,000 eggs from the back of a truck. And in a strange coincidence, guess who was spotted nearby with 10,000 pounds of bacon? A Florida woman gave birth on a New York City subway train. Not surprising, the baby's first words were, "What the f*** are you looking at?" They can't bleep that because it's a direct quote. And finally, the sports governing body known as the World Athletics is hiring staff to swab the cheeks of female athletes to make sure they are not trans. "Which cheeks?" asked one man. All right. To the monologue. So as DOGE slices through our government waste, fraud, and abuse, it would be nice to hear from the waste, fraud, and abuse itself. If only it had a voice. Oh, wait, it does.
You can't spell felon without Elon.
Trump and Musk like to say, we're reading out fraud, waste, and abuse. We're looking at efficiency. That's a dog whistle.
Elon Musk ripped up the Constitution and our system of checks and balances.
The Trump administration and unelected billionaire Elon Musk have led a reckless and illegal attack on USAID.
9 million veterans are watching you give them the middle finger, and we're not going to stand for it.
So watching the Dems react to DOGE is like watching a mobster plead with a cop to ignore the kicking noises coming from inside the trunk of his car. And now they care about the Constitution? Come on, we know they hate the Constitution because it's only one ply. Little toilet paper joke there. And we also know why they're really outraged. They're scared, but also offended that for once they're being held to the same rules the rest of us are. As in those of us who worked in a business or ran one. We've all been there, even if it's a lemonade stand, or in my case, a lemonade emporium, which put all those little bags in my neighborhood out of business. Yeah, in your face, Billy. Yeah, they're outraged that Trump is forcing them to show their work, go through the budgets, the line items, costs and overruns, losses and theft. And their reaction to this makes you wonder what they're hiding. So imagine if you opened a restaurant and you've already hired the busboys. Investors gave you a boatload of money to launch this huge undertaking. And a year goes by and those investors are showing up and asking, "How's it going?" And you say, "Not great." Probably because you offered all-you-can-eat shrimp to the wrong person. And the investors say, "Well, can you show us your books?" And you say, "No way!" And then you get angry at them for even asking. Well, wouldn't a reasonable person say, "That's odd. I give you money and you think it's wrong for me to see where the money went?" Well, that's the federal government. And as taxpayers, we're the investors. It's no different than running a bar, a diner, or anything that serves customers. It goes under if you don't keep tabs on the tabs. That's why Larry Kudlow is banned from Hooters and Cracker Barrel. But Dems have never had to keep anything within a budget, not even Pelosi's face. That alone costs $50 million. Fact is, Trump's basically running a nationwide version of Bar Rescue, where everyone can see how the sausage gets made and stolen. We just found out, for example, the Department of Health and Human Services blew $22 billion on things like cars, homes, and startup businesses for migrants. So while victims of disasters were given $750 to pitch a tent where their business used to stand, Venezuelan gang members in NYC just opened a tire sealant butt clinic. Butt implant clinic. Yeah, that's better. Worse, EPA Chief Lee Zeldin revealed $20 billion was sitting in a private bank to be doled out to green energy companies that Biden abandoned without proper oversight. I heard one green company received millions to produce Joy Behar nude calendars. That's to encourage people to turn out the lights. DOGE is also cleaning house at the Department of Education, and yeah, even the IRS. Auditing the auditors. What's next? Checking Jerry Nadler's secret expense accounts for liquid plumber. So the story really isn't just the fraud, it's those freaking out about its exposure. That puts them on the other side of the good guys. We know eliminating waste and abuse is paramount, as is reducing the size of an arrogant, bloated government. It's good for everyone. But whoever it's bad for are the ones screaming about it. Because to them, government was never about helping you, but helping themselves. John, congrats on a new season of Bar Rescue. And when I'm writing this, I was thinking about you going into the bars and basically looking at their books and having to have that come to Jesus moment with them, which the Democrats find as an injustice and unconstitutional. What say you?
Well, first of all, they don't even list what the checks are for. Mm-hmm. Now, if I did that, the IRS wouldn't accept my taxes. I'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Every check written has backup. Mm-hmm. They didn't even do the backup. The negligence is so disrespectful to us and our money. They're paying on contracts that expired 10 years ago. They're writing checks for invoices they never received for companies that we have no record of. There's no files. There's no backup for these things. This is criminal. Mm-hmm. In the civilian world, this would be criminal, would be extortion. Mm-hmm. But it's unbelievable. So they're screaming loud, and you're right, the extorters are the ones that are going to scream the loudest. And I can't wait till we follow the money.
Yes. Andrew, you run your own businesses. Is Musk doing everything right? Could he do anything better? What's your grade so far?
Yeah, I think he's doing a great job. And also, I always love the episodes, John, where you go in and you find the owners are drunk. So I can't wait until we find out, like we go in and Musk finds everybody drunk, and then you throw them out, right? You need to be there for that. But what's even funnier is the way in which the Democrats are actually arguing about this, right? Catching the falling knife, I call it. Mm-hmm. This reminds me of a story. Two hunters are in the woods, right? There's a big, big, deep hole, and the two hunters are like, oh, let's throw something down the hole and see what's down there. We'll see how deep it is. So there's a huge rock there. They throw the rock down the hole, and it just keeps going and going and going. And then suddenly, this guy comes running in, and he's like, have you guys seen my donkey? And the hunters are like, you know, it's funny you mention it. This donkey just went headfirst into the hole, 200 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. And the guy says, well, how's that possible? I had him tied to a huge rock. And in this little story, the analogy is the two hunters are Trump and Musk, right? Yeah. And the Democrats are they're the donkeys just going down the hole, following the rock, and they're like, we're gonna die.
Are you saying they're jackasses?
Oh, whoa. I don't know. And I don't know who the old man is.
Yeah. You know, it just made me think Musk should copy Bar Rescue and just force the congressman to clean refrigerators in the cafeteria. Just get on their hands and knees and scrape it. Kat,
grease traps.
Yeah, they're all grease traps, Kat. Kat, you're in an episode of Bar Rescue this year.
Yeah, I am.
And by the way, Kat, when we filmed Bar Rescue, it was about 9 months ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yes, there I am. Yeah, I'd actually... The look on my face really says it all, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had actually just found out I was pregnant, and I never thought I was going to be pregnant for the rest of my life. Here we are. Yeah.
So they keep calling Musk an unelected billionaire. I didn't know we elected billionaires.
Also, we didn't elect whoever was running the country the previous 4 years. You cannot do that when you're a figurehead, was literally a figurehead, and barely even that. I mean, he had difficulty remaining upright.
Yes.
Most like mascots that are like a stuffed animal can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you completely, people who are elected then hire people and have a team that does stuff. I don't understand the argument. I don't know who came up with the argument. It's ridiculous. And also, all the money, it's our money. We're the investors in the business. This is our money. And I understand it can be difficult to find out that people that you've trusted are stealing from you, because that has happened to me before. And I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it. But as soon as they're like, don't look, it's like, you know. You got to know.
Tyrus, thoughts on how it's going so far?
I think they need to continue reminding us that Elon is an unelected official. I think they need to keep beating that horse nonstop and saying it every chance they get. So when we find the money, we get to say, so you, as an elected official who took an oath to uphold the Constitution and serve the American people, stole and laundered money, just to be clear. I think that should add a few more years on the sentence because they made an oath not to do that.
Right.
So the reason why they keep saying he has no end game because he's not benefiting from it. He's already, he wants money. If Elon called his team of accountants and said, bring me all my money to my house, I want to count it, we would not hear from him for 25 years.
Yeah.
So the guilty, it's always the worst villain that fights the hardest. It's always the one in your family member that's stabbing you in the back that fights you the most. And it's not just Democrats. We need to slow our roll. Republicans who are doing it are scared right now because they can't do anything. Their hands are tied. Except the ones who are really in far too deep, like the old man. That's why he's freezing all the time, because he's like, oh, their jig's up. Nope. So I think it's very interesting they keep saying unelected. Let them keep saying that, because it's going to bite them on their jackasses.